Hey everybody, hello. This is Terry Luongo and welcome to a Monday Night Live Team Up Zoom. Guys, it's the first Monday in June. Can you believe? I mean, May just came and went so fast. It was like just a bleep on the radar. And we had a really good month. I am so proud of you guys. Many of you took advantage of the bundle opportunity, all that product for that price. Wow. And so the company is not taking their foot off the gas. We are really coming through the digital storm. We're doing business differently, but I'm seeing every single week the systems are improving and improving and improving. So before I go into the incentives for the month of June, I want to tell you that a little bird told me, and I cannot share a name, that more than likely by the end of the week, your customers will be getting email notifications that product is shipping. Now, they're still not going to have the ability, I don't think, to go in and click and get into their account and make their own adjustments. We'll see what that looks like. But just know that if you see customers get in touch with you, or if you have team members whose customers get in touch with them, this is definitely something the company plans on doing, moving forward, that customers will hear from the company alerting them that product is shipping. And I think that feature will continue to be, I know that feature will be enhanced as time goes on. The other thing that a little birdie told me, and I know that my friend Kathy Schlund is probably saying, "Oh, Terry, don't share that. What if it doesn't happen?" But I can't. I have to share it. I was told that I kind of kicked it up, made some comments to some people at the home office that I was very disappointed that the rush option uh, was taken away from the customer portal, so we couldn't rush orders, and that we had to cancel orders and start over again, and how challenging that was. So I was told that before the month is out, not only will the rush option be reinstated, but pick the date. Wow. Yeah, there's Linda Pimentel. Yes, I'm watching. Yes, the pick. Yes. So, oh, I mean, to me, that is the weight of the world off my shoulders. So that's coming. Now, it doesn't come to fruition by the end of the month. Know that it's in the works, but I was told that we're at 99% sure that it'll be here before the end of the month. All right. So the company is not taking their foot off the gas in terms of we're starting to create some momentum. And every month we have these great incentives, and I absolutely love the incentives that are being offered for the month of June because it's the opportunity for those of us in the field to earn a little extra cash, okay, for placing orders, but it's also an initiative and an opportunity for people to come to team who then can take advantage of a little bit more cash opportunity. So Kathy, what's the first image that we have?
Can you see it?
Yep, heat up your earnings, guys. Okay, once you hit 3 new customers, and the customer has to be either on the trio, and of course the quad would count, the adult gummy order, fruit, vegetable, berry, or the superfood. Once you put in 3 new customer orders, then you will earn double sales profit. So that's real fast money in the bank. It's double sales profit on each order. So what does that mean? Well, we all earn the same retail profit. It doesn't matter if you bring somebody brand new in today, or I've been with you guys 31 years. We all make the same retail profit. The retail profit is about $30 on the trio, superfood, all that. So say $30. So all of a sudden, that $30 jumps to $60. That's some nice extra money for the month of June. Now, and they consider a new customer. has to be a new email in the system. So we really are looking for new customers, not somebody that hasn't ordered in 6 months or not somebody that hasn't ordered in 12 months. We're looking for new customers with new emails. That's what they're going to look at when they're looking at our customers. Now, take a look at the Come to Team incentive. Okay, so this is a recruiting Come to Team in the month of June. And what the company will do, so somebody comes in, they pay their $52, but then the company is going to turn around immediately, send them an email with a gift card for $52 that they can apply towards any product that they want. So in essence, guys, it's Come to Team for free. Really, that's what this says to me. So $52, they can apply towards any product that they want. Here's this, think of it this way. You bring somebody brand new to Team, and the first thing I talk about is family plan. Partner Plus, I call it family plan, always have, always will. Okay, and what does it take to get to that first level from Partner to Partner Plus? 900 points, or the equivalent of 3 orders, 3 trio orders or 3 superfood orders. So you bring somebody in, basically it's not going to cost them anything because they're going to use their $52 gift card. They put in their 3 trio orders, okay? So now all of a sudden they're not going to earn just $90, right? That's $180 of sales profit. Now, if they do that in their first 10 days, there's the $100 bonus. So you can go out and reach out to people, friends, family who you've had on your heart and say, listen, I really would love for you to take a look at becoming part of the Juice Plus community. Can I show you what that would mean to you in terms of financial compensation? In your first 10 days, you could earn $280. I don't know, guys. I think that just might be intriguing to a lot of people out there in the world today. And that's just a starting point. We get them to Partner Plus. After that, right, they're in a commission level moving forward, following the next month. So look at it, not just the ability for us to earn a little extra cash, but this is some great talking points to bring people to Team in the month of June. All right, anybody have any questions about these 2 incentives for June business?
I do.
Go ahead, Janelle.
Okay, so we need 3 orders and then it kicks in. It kicks in on the 4th order, or it kicks in on the past 3.
On the it kicks in on the 3 that you've already put in.
Okay.
Okay, so not all right. So that's why this is so much fun. And again, the company is just giving us money every time we turn around. And so this is so it's the ability for you or anybody else to earn that double sales profit, but you have to put in at least 3 new customer orders to qualify. Good question. Anybody else? All right. I came across this young lady. Her name is Jessie Lapicki. Okay, and she is a QNMD in the Juice Plus world, and she's powerful. And this was just an amazing business training. She did it last week. So I thought, I don't need to reinvent the wheel. I'm just going to let Jessica tell the story. Okay, she's in Abby's Eastern region. Yeah, she is awesome, Abby. I fell in love with this training. And so it's like we're going to cut it down. We're going to run it for 17 minutes. So stay, watch, and just know though that tomorrow, I want to do this before we head out. Tomorrow at 11 o'clock Central Time is the monthly kickoff Zoom for the company. Okay, and that's where Skylar will be on, Skylar, Travis, and I think it's another Whitney Lloyd will be training. Okay, so this is your monthly momentum boost call. It's for all partners, okay? And yes, they're recorded, but if you could jump on tomorrow, catch it live, that would be, I know you would not be disappointed because there's a lot going on with the company, and I'm excited and I am so grateful. All right, thanks for putting that up, Kathy. And somebody get on tomorrow and take good notes because I'll be at 30,000 feet. Okay, here comes Miss Jessica. Get ready, guys. This girl's good.
Okay, we'll try this again.
My name is Jessie Lapicki. I wanted to come here and just share a little bit about my story with you guys and a little bit of my thoughts on momentum, the momentum train, right? Because I feel like I'm hoping that it will help some of you maybe relate to me and you hear something that maybe will help you in your journey and your business. And yeah, so my story started probably close to 10 years ago. I actually I learned a little bit about nutrition. I actually reversed my PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, from just eating a more whole food, plant-based diet. And that really led me down a path of just becoming very passionate about nutrition. And so, you know, the doctors don't tell you about that, right? Like the fact that you have this tool and with nutrition and you have the ability to really change the trajectory of your health. And so I became a nutrition coach. I became an athlete. And someone shared Juice Plus with me, and it really just made sense, you guys. I knew and I understood like the more plants I could get into my body, the better it would function. And so we said yes right away. We really thought we were super healthy because we were these athletes. And, you know what, looking back, we really did have a lot of like aches and pains for being in our early 30s. We were just those people that were constantly sick at the you know, getting colds and sinus infections, and I wasn't sleeping well. And so within our first week of getting started on Juice Plus, we noticed we were not sore anymore with training. All of our inflammation left the body. I was sleeping better. And then it was a year into taking Juice Plus. It's like, you know, you don't notice the cold that doesn't come or the inflammation or pain that goes away, right? So we looked back after a year, we were like, oh my gosh, we haven't been sick, not one time. And we were those people that were always sick with colds and sinus infections. And so a year in, we noticed we were not sick, not one time after starting Juice Plus. And that was the year before COVID. So we were just beyond grateful for this gift. And then I used it as my sole prenatal with my son, Daniel. And it was such a blessing to have that as well, because I had a beautiful pregnancy, no weird symptoms, no heartburn, cravings, nausea, nothing. I had just this abundance of energy, and this beautiful, healthy baby boy came out. He's never been on any antibiotics, no over-the-counter prescription medications, and he's just so healthy. Like, I laugh because he is just this image of health. He's my Juice Plus baby. He opens the freezer door and gets out frozen spinach for snacks. It's very weird, I know, but that is our story. And kind of the reason why we said yes to the business is because we could not actually afford to take Juice Plus. And so I said yes to the business because I needed to share with a couple of people so that I could pay for my own Juice Plus. And I knew how important that was. So it just really kind of snowballed from there. I started to share, you know, with people, and I would have people come to me and say, thank you. Like, thank you so much for sharing this gift with me. Like, it has changed my life. And that really just fueled my passion even more, because I've always wanted to help people. You know, I became the nutrition coach. So this was actually an easier track to help people on than nutrition coaching, because you know, I would give them a task. I would tell them what to do with nutrition coaching, but they wouldn't do it, right? So this, being inside of, we call it the best health club ever, it really, I felt like this was a better track to be able to help people on, because we have all the tools and you get to come alongside us in this community, and I found that people were having more success. So that really fueled my fire. And so I just kept sharing. I just kept sharing because in my heart, I knew more people needed to know about this gift. So that really snowballed into something really beautiful. I actually built my business during COVID. I hit QNMD, qualified national marketing director, and within my first 2 years. And then life happened to me, right? So I had a lot of quick success, and then we all know, right? Like, the momentum is great. And I'll tell you how I built it the first time, right? It was a lot of because we were virtual, right? During COVID, that didn't stop us, right? Even before COVID happened, I was doing a lot of online sharing. I was making friends that way. I was finding friends in Facebook groups and just connecting there and having those one-on-one personal conversations. And I was using something called Forum, to just meet new people and start up the conversation, break the ice. So it's family, occupation, recreation, and motivation, right? So, hey, how, if you know them, how's your family doing? What are you doing for fun these days? What are you doing for work? And just get that conversation going. And a lot of times health or finances typically come up, right? I love what Ashley Hudson shares. We have three things here that people pray for the most, right? Is their health, their relationships, and their finances. And we get to enhance all three of those here. So usually those things come up in conversation if you were having those conversations. So that's what I found was really helpful. Like I said, I had some quick success, and then life happened to me. I had a baby, and then I found out I was super sick after having a baby. I was completely depleted, and I found out I was living in mold and I had Lyme's disease. And so that really rocked my world, you guys. I could not even pick up my newborn baby. It was hard. It was really hard for me. And I had a hard time even forming sentences. The brain, like psychosis, was so bad. And so that I had to really take a step back from my business during that time and, put it down. I was completely unplugged. I wasn't even on any calls anymore. And I praise God for this Juice Plus community, because it was he really did. He put the right people in front of me, and someone under me on my team actually reached up to me and said, hey, I really think you should watch this call. And it was about hormone health. So I was like, okay, I'll get on and I'll support her. And I really heard things on that call that made me start asking more questions about my health. And so I was led to somebody a sideline friend, QNMD, April Manuelson, who is a functional nutrition practitioner. She specializes in biotoxins, things like mold and Lyme. And so it was just a God thing. And she helped me detox naturally, didn't need any antibiotics. And so life happened to me. So when I stopped working, I was making $4,000 a month. And then, it trickled from there. Over 2 years, you guys, I wasn't able to really touch my business in a meaningful way. And I watched my team fade away, and I watched my paycheck dwindle. And we went through, selling our house and moving cross country. And after all of that, it was 2 years later, looking back, it's wild to think about. My paycheck got below the Comma Club, right? I was making $800. And my husband looked at me and he said, okay, Jess, it's time to pick up your business again. We need it. We need the income. So it was really hard. I'm not going to lie. It was very awkward. I hadn't done it in a while. I didn't remember what to say or even how to get that momentum back again. I always say, you always hear that in this business. It's easier to keep the momentum going than stop that freight train, right? We talk about that freight train is really I love that analogy. A freight train uses 75% of its gas just to get going. And so while it's trying to get going, even a small twig can stop that train. It can stop it. And so, but once it gets going though, you guys, once that freight train is going and it has momentum, it can plow through a building. And so that's really how I felt restarting my business, you guys. I felt like that slow moving train, I wasn't having a lot of success. It was harder at first to find people. I was in a new place. I didn't know anybody. I was not even qualified. I had zero team. And so it was inch by inch by inch by inch. And over this past year, it's crazy to look back and see, because our company really set it up perfectly for us to get that momentum going. And it was one thing led to another, right? It was the event incentive over the summer. We did a lot of events. I did about 15 events, sourdoughs, fire cider, salad jar parties, a lot of One Simple changes, just booths, vendor tables, just going out and meeting people. And over that period, it's the numbers game, right? We know, right? Only about 1 out of 5 people in this business are going to do this with us, right? So I tell people, like, think in terms of abundance in your mind, right? If you're new, and I'm helping a new person get started, and I'm helping them understand, like, if you're just sharing with a handful of people, your mindset is in that lack mindset. You're not really sharing with the masses, and in your mind you're probably thinking, oh, you really want these 5 or so handful of people to say yes, you want to hit your promotion, but it might feel like a stretch. It might feel like that's hard, and you're not finding the yeses, you're finding nos with those handfuls of people, right? So I really like to train people, think of it in terms of abundance. Okay, if you're going out and you think, okay, I have a line, we all have a line to the end of the earth. Okay, if you just one by one and you share with the masses, and you share with 50 to 100 people as fast as you possibly can, you're bound to find those yeses, right? You're not even going to have time to worry about the no's. You're going to be so involved with finding those yeses, and that's what's going to excite your business, right? That's going to get you a big paycheck. That is going to get your momentum train going. And so I wanted to share that. Just keep that in mind. You really have to train the brain, right? A lot of people come into this business, and we all have to work on our mindset, right? That's the only factor, really. We have all the same resources. Everything is the same playing field. The only difference is our mind. Okay, so you really have to train your brain to accept those no's, right? Our brain, rejection is the same feeling that we feel if we were being chased by a lion, you guys. So our brain, it's fascinating, right? Our brain tries to shield us from those rejections so that we don't have to experience it, right? Because it feels hard. It's like a fight or flight feeling, and you don't like that feeling because you feel like it's about you. But really, what I have to tell you is it's not about you, you guys. It is not about us. It is about the other person. It's about getting over your damn self and sharing with the person anyway, even though it might feel scary and you may worry about what that person is going to think of you. It doesn't matter what they think about you. What matters is that we are giving people the information, okay? And we need to separate ourselves from that no, and we need to let people make their own decisions for themselves and love them wherever they are on that spectrum, right? So if they're a no, if they're all in yes, wherever they land, just know a no is not a no forever, right? And you're not gonna lose any friends over sharing Juice Plus, right? You're sharing because you care. It's like sharing a good book, right? And so, that's kind of like how I started my business, right? With all of these incentives, with the reset, in January, and then the top sponsors in February. I was, top 5 in the company for a lot of these incentives. And this is why. And it's because I was consistent. If you just get consistent with your business over just a 6-month period of time, or even a year, it can be different for everybody, but you will find your rhythm. You will find your momentum. And I'm telling you, do not give up. You just have to do an event, do it again, and do it again, and keep doing it until you find that momentum. Okay. And that's what it's all about, right? You cannot say the wrong thing to the right person, and you can't say the right thing to the wrong person, right? So I think I just said that twice, but you understand what I'm saying. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. You can't say the right thing to the wrong person. So it doesn't matter anyway, right? You just go out and make a mess, and there's no perfect people allowed. Just go out and do it anyway, right? And the more you do that, I love what the Myers say about this, like, action cures fear and builds your confidence, right? So if you just get into the action and just start doing the A activities, they get easier and easier. And then for me, I get anxiety when I'm not sharing, when I'm not following up, right? So once you get to that place, it is a lot harder to stop that momentum train than just to keep it going, right? And so we have those seasons of being, really busy, and we have those seasons of having that rebuilding phase, and we're in that phase of how do we get that train going again, right? So I just want to tell you this, like, when it's really hard to get the train going again and get that momentum going when we don't have it. And it does feel hard, but you guys, you don't have to see the entire staircase. Just take the one step in front of the other, and you will find your momentum again. You just have to keep going. You just have to be consistent, no matter what that looks like. Even if you're not having success, I'm telling you, you are always one share away from finding your next superstar, or your next runner with you, and your next buddy. And there's nothing like a new buddy that's on fire, just get you going and get you excited again, right? So really, I just want to instill in you guys, once you get that momentum going again too, some of us might know what that feels like, but just know, like, it is so important to be able to sustain that momentum, okay, and not burn out, right? We talk about, like, a lot of us really, like, we talk about, like, the ones that are successful here and the ones who aren't. Really, the only difference is that the successful ones know how to manage their time better, right? And it's about setting those clear boundaries. It's about having the space to do the work and saying, okay, this is my power hour, this is my 30 minutes, this is my hour, without any distractions. And a lot of times, you guys, you can get more done in that short amount of time than you can if you just willy-nilly spread it out throughout the day. Like, I have worked that way, and I'm telling you, that is how you burn out. If you're just responding to messages right away throughout the whole day, you're taking away from your family, you're taking away from your own joy in your own life. You need to have boundaries, you need to have clear, scheduled block time for your business. And that is how you, okay, once you're done with that time, you go all out massive action during that time. Everything that you can get more done during that time than you can if it's all over the place, right? If that makes sense. So having that block time and then saying, okay, when the time is over, I'm done, right? And just turning it off, putting the phone away, enjoying your family. That is how you do this business, okay? That's what I've had to learn the hard way, right? Not burning out, because you have to keep that momentum train going. You have a team now and people reaching out. So, and that's kind of what it feels like. And, remember, you're always one share away from finding that next superstar, right? Like, I worked for 6 months, you guys, until I actually finally found someone to do this business with me. Like, I was doing all the events myself. I was doing like I said, sourdough, fire cider, label detective classes, things like that, and just adding value to my community. And that's really how I did it. I was posting, and I was using virtual, posting in Facebook, and finding people that way, and creating a community. Hey, who's interested in sourdough is an incredible funnel. You need a funnel to find your people, right? So going out, you're going to have to get out of the house. You're going to have to find groups to go and network and meet with people, and then build that community. Invite them to things that you're doing, whatever interests you, right? Whatever sets your soul on fire, whether that's sourdough, or if you're a guy, you like golf, or go-karts, whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. So you just got to figure out what sets your heart on fire and what gets you excited, because whatever that is going to excite other people. Okay. And so, find that and go out and do it, and do it, and do it, and do it, and don't give up. And if you keep doing it, you're going to find those people, right? It took me a while. It took me 6 months to get my momentum going again. But after that 6 months, you guys, I look back, and this time last year I was making $800. Last month I made about $5,000. So I love that we get to do that. We get to share this gift with people. Like, isn't that incredible that we get to literally give ourselves a raise every single month? How awesome is that? Is that we get to show people how to do that, and that, look, you're making this much now. Look if you just stay consistent over 6 months to a year and keep going and don't give up.
Okay, guys, from $800 to $5,000, she's intentional. And she said, it's all about your mindset. And it's no coincidence. That's what I'm going to be training on in Waco in just a couple days, because the first thing she did is she made a decision. Okay. And there is such power when she decided, I'm back in this game. Okay. And the power of when you make a decision, clarity and purpose, you stop being reactive to life. You start being proactive to life. All right. And I'm going to tell you, when you make a decision like that, trust me on this, all the right people will start to show up in your life every single time. And how many, I wish I could see a show of hands, how many of you have suffered the pain of indecision? I'm not sure. Well, maybe. Let me ask this person. Let me run it by so-and-so. The pain of indecision. Get clear about what you want. Make a decision. That's what she did. And that's when she started to rebuild momentum. Remember, this game that we play called the Juice Plus Business, it's 80% psychology. It's only 20% your skills. 80% of this game or anything in your life, my friends, happens between your ears. My wish for you for the month of June and moving forward is that you become aware of the limiting beliefs and thoughts that hold you captive. This is the year, this is the month for possibility. All right, guys, we're going to have a great summer. I'll see you next Monday night. Peace and blessings. Remember, this call is for anybody under the umbrella. Take care.
Thanks, Terry. Good
Thanks,
night.
Terry.